The Stack. People, Business, Technology. With Dan Tomaszewski of Everything MSP.
MSP. Welcome to another episode of The Stack, where we talk about people, business, and technology. Very excited to have Jason here. Jason, how are you doing?
Hey, good morning. Doing well.
Excellent. Jason Thomas with JTAG Solutions out of Chicago, Illinois.
Yep.
And we are here in Denver, Colorado, a little bit different of a location than we're used to, being from Michigan and Illinois.
A bit higher elevation, yes.
Higher, yeah, definitely. And we are at a very busy event, a lot of energy, a lot of networking, a lot of education. And one of the things that you and I have been talking about is, from an operational perspective, how having an operations manager can be a game changer in the business, right?
Absolutely, yes.
We've always in our MSP had someone in the operations role. That we were a little more operations heavy, a little more admin heavy.
Okay.
And so tell me a little bit more about how your setup was and is.
Sure. We've founded in our current form in 2018, which was just myself and a couple of customers. Okay. And COVID hit, got a few more customers, hired on a few more engineers in 2020, 2021, okay. Some part-time, some full-time. Yep. And I was still running everything back end. I was running the show.
Oh, wow. I mean, that's an incredible amount of work wearing all those hats, right?
Yes. And, I could work 7 days a week, 12 hours a day and still not be caught up.
Yeah.
And then you have to force yourself to take a vacation.
Right.
Otherwise, every waking minute you could spend in the business.
Yeah. And it's not the worst thing. You go in to check something off your list that you just did. It's not even on your list, right?
Yes. Yeah. The list seemed to never end.
Exactly. And, so when did you hire an operations manager?
So the end of last year, the end of 2023, I've had a friend that I had known for 15 years. She had left a previous position. And I'm like, you know what? I can use some administrative help. Okay. And she was, we worked together for a month or so. And I'm like, oh, wow, this can be a real game changer to the amount of time that I have.
Yeah.
One of the items that I was really hesitant about, this is my first hire that wasn't generating me revenue directly.
Right.
Everyone else was an engineer, tech, and I could plan that, all right, I'm getting paid for,
right.
We're making money off of what they're working. Yeah. And this is my first administrative role that I was going to fill, that I'm like, right, this is coming directly out of my pocket.
Yeah, because when you look at a technician, I mean, that salary and any of those expenses, you think about it as like cost of goods sold, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And so when it is an operational person, they're helping to contribute, but it's
nebulous. It's not a direct line until she came online full time first of this year, 2024. And within a month, I was already thinking, how did I do this without her? Yes. And by just last month, in May, was the first time we were not putting out fires. We were not looking backwards on what needs to be done. We were looking forward thinking, going, all right, what's the next thing we can offer our customers? What's the next area that we want to put our energy toward?
Okay.
And that was an amazing feeling of, I've felt behind for the past 2 years.
I mean, you probably were like, right? I mean, that pressure and weight.
Yes. It was after we had one of our staff meetings, and I'm like, wow, it's like a page has been turned.
Yeah.
And after this conference, I'm taking a couple of days off and going into the mountains.
That's awesome.
So it's definitely worth it.
Yeah. What are some things that you've seen from a sales perspective that by having an operations manager that's helped you?
Sure. One of the first things we did was rework our master service agreement, our quoting system. And so she rebuilt that from my conglomeration of documents into something that was cohesive. We're standardizing it across all of our customers.
Nice.
And it will be something going forward that it's repeatable. We're not reinventing the wheel every time I'm quoting something. And then the next part is keep starting to get all my engineers on board with SOPs, documentation, standardization, which has not been a strong point up till now. But that was because I was in charge of everything.
Right.
And Sherry Newey is my operations manager, and she has been wonderful in getting us to standardize and follow her way.
Okay, that's great. I mean, because there are only so many hours in the day, right?
Yes.
So you can only do so much, and we all have aspirations of what we want, what we envision, but when it's on us to do it all, it just doesn't happen.
There's not enough time. I have to pick my battles of which point I want to actually spend my energy on, and still be able to go out on a Friday night and not have to worry about something needing to get done.
Right. And I would assume that from a client perspective, your clients must notice a difference.
Well, they have fallen into two categories.
Okay.
Some of them love going to Sherry. Oh, I've got somebody I can always talk to and reach and support. And other ones who have been with me for 5+ years going, oh no, we're still going to call you. I still have your phone number.
Right.
I'm still going to text you, and don't pass me off to anyone else.
Gotcha.
So it's a definite. We've started to bang on that drum. It's a learning curve for our customers. Going, email support.
Right.
Put in a ticket. Don't call Jason anymore.
Yeah.
And so that has been a challenging point for our customers.
Okay.
But they're starting to get it.
Yeah, and I think it is a paradigm shift.
It is.
When you've had it in place for so long and they're used to it, the process. But I think long term, they those that don't see that right away, if they feel it's like, okay, if I'm not sending it right to Jason, it's going into a black hole, and I don't know if someone's going to be touching it. But then once they start getting a response right away, then they're like, oh, this is good.
Absolutely, and they see that they get a response from her versus me that will happen 4 hours later.
Right.
They'll get something from her, 10, 15 minutes.
So it's a team effort then, right?
Yes.
Because you might be very busy on some type of project, and someone else can service them quicker.
Yes.
And get them to where they need to be.
So we have just a level 1 engineer on call that she can send the call over to, and they get resolution right away versus waiting for me the next day.
Yeah.
And that has helped to get them on board with our change in process.
So what's looking ahead? What do you see next with your time? Because this obviously has freed up some time for you to be able to be more of a visionary in the business. What do you see next on your agenda?
Now that we've caught up with all of our backlog of projects and maintenance, we're looking for more standardization, more dumping everything that I have into documentation for the other engineers, and then starting pulling up the sales process.
Okay.
And reaching out to other contacts and getting that moving to continue to grow.
Nice.
That's it's an odd feeling when you have opportunities that you kind of put off because you're too busy running around doing all the day-to-day.
Right.
And she's going to give me the operations person gives me the opportunity to pull back from the day-to-day and work on the new business, work on quoting and just improving the IT world for our existing customers as well.
Yeah.
Going, hey, let's do quarterly business review and plan out your next year instead of, oh, wow, we really should replace these computers. Let's get that on a schedule. Let's be forward thinking with all your IT needs now.
That's great. I mean, because a lot of MSPs are looking for new business.
Yes.
You have business there that, like you said, because of time and limitations of time,
Right.
you're not able to capture it, but now you can.
Yep.
So that's excellent. So as we wrap up, any parting words for MSPs out there that may have been or may be in the same position that you were, not having an operations manager and taking that leap?
Well, I wish I had done it about a year earlier.
Okay.
When I was starting to feel overwhelmed. It was I could handle 3 to 4 engineers,
Sure.
and as soon as I went over that, it was always behind. So
Okay.
wish I had pulled the trigger a year ahead of time.
Yeah.
But no, it's all good. We're
an
in
investment.
we're in great shape now.
Okay. Awesome. Well, hey, I greatly appreciate your time. It's all about that educational component and sharing. We are all in the same boat. We're all going towards the same, common goal. And that's great. So thank you so much.
Thank you for your time, Dan.
And for all those listening, thank you so much for your time. Until next time, we'll talk to you soon. Take care, everyone.
Thank you for listening to The Stack.